Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. My name is Sue Ellis-Saller, and I am coming here live to do some one-card readings today. So I am going to wait and see if a few minutes to see if some people join us. Today, I am going old school style. So I have a couple of different decks with me today. Raven Phelan's Messenger Oracle. I just love her artwork, and so I'm a big fan. I bought 2 decks from her the last time she had a deck release. I think it was around the holiday time. And I have talked about her Dreams of Gaia tarot deck before. It's a really, really nice tarot deck. And even this has a little homage to Gaia on the back. She does a lot of dragons and a lot of alchemical symbols and everything like that. So it says, I am Gaia. I am the daughter of Great Spirit, who is the source of all. I am both magical and divine, as is all which I create. I am the Great Mother. I am your mother, and you, beautiful soul, are a physical manifestation of my love. Very cool. So now her white book that goes with this is really nice, and I might be looking into the white book as I am doing readings from this deck because I haven't worked so much with it. I got it a little while ago, like I said, at Christmas time, and I just stopped buying decks really frequently because I just feel like I have a lot of decks, and like this one, it still has the little band around it. I think I probably looked at it and pulled the band off at one point in time. But let's see what kind of, and I mean, look at how beautiful these are. Hey, Lisa, it's nice to see you again this week. Hey, welcome, welcome. So I'm just kind of introducing a deck that I got from Raven Phelan, and I bought it directly from her site. With all of the kind of pirating issues that go on, you always want to make sure if you're buying a deck that you buy it either directly from the artist is really good, because then they don't lose anything to like a third-party site. So I bought these from her around Christmas time, like I said, or the beginning of the new year. Let me know if you want me to pull a card. Yeah, it just gets so overwhelming. Like there's so many beautiful decks out on the market right now, and I have literally dozens of decks, and I love them all so much. Oh, most of them. We'll say most of them, because there are a couple that I just did not connect with. It was kind of funny. When I did my deck review for the with the Shadowscapes Tarot, which I don't know if you have that one or not. It's a beautiful, gorgeous deck. It's very like fair, she does a lot of fairies, and it's just beautiful artwork. And okay, cool. I'll pull a card for you, and I hope you don't mind, because this is a newer deck that I'm working with. I'm going to use the guidebook a little bit to be able to give you a richer perspective of the card. I generally don't use guidebook if I'm working with tarot, but today, like I said, I'm pulling out a couple of other decks, and we'll see. Okay, so she put 2 out at the same time. The Messenger Oracle is this one, and it's from Raven Phelan. And I started saying, okay, when you are buying a deck, to make sure it's not a pirated deck. First of all, don't buy it from Wish or Alibaba or whatever, where you see it at a very low cost. Even some of the Etsy sellers, they just find a deck, or they buy a deck for themselves, and then they scan all the pictures in and they print out decks, and then they leave the artist totally out of the picture when they're, so they're basically like stealing the artwork, which, if you look at each one of these cards is, a masterpiece in and of itself. So it takes the people a lot of time. Yeah. So you want to make sure that the publishing company's name is on the box when you buy it. The name of the creator of the deck is on there. And then usually if you're buying a pirated deck, like I said, they're usually on those cheaper sites like Alibaba or Wish. And then sometimes they don't even come with the guidebook. They just come with like a QR code that links you to like a digital version of the guidebook. Now, if you will hang on 2 seconds, let me see if I can find my other 2 decks from her real quick. And then I will do your card. I'm sorry. Ah, here we go. And okay. So, as you guys know, it's like buying tarot decks and crystals and everything like that is like just addictive. So she also has the Secret Oracle deck, which is just as beautiful. It's a little bit different. I think they're both 44 card decks. But again, I bought like a package deal from her website. Ooh, and I like this. Ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will open, which was actually the theme of what I wanted to talk about today, really. So let me get to your card, Lisa, and then I will go on with my babbling self about manifestation. So today's card is Let Your Emotions Flow. Beautiful it is. So, and let me look it up. Where did I just put the guidebook? Okay. Let your emotions flow, Lisa. And I think it's really kind of obvious what that means. But emotions flow like water. They can be joyous like a babbling brook, as deep and strong as a river. Give yourself permission to feel and experience them without judgment or blame. Do not try to deny them, for that can only lead to harm and disease. Do not damn them within you. Release them, let them flow and go. Allow yourself to free them and learn from them as you embrace them for what they are, a natural response to the moment that you exist in a natural response to the moment that you exist in that will pass as the moment passes. So I hope that helps you out, Lisa. Sometimes you need to let it flow, let your emotions out instead of keeping them locked inside. And I know that locking them up inside of you can lead to physical discomfort after a while too, and disease. So this is so pretty. When I'm looking at it, I'm seeing like there's just subtle pinks in the background. Like I hate it when I'm trying to find things. Like this dragonfly here has some subtle pink in it. There's a subtle pink in that rose there. So these are really pretty cards, definitely. So I hope that helps you out, Lisa. Let it flow. And I'm so bad about my cards lately because too, I'm like keeping them with the little thingies on them until I do a deck review. Ooh, and this is so nice. See the truth. That is really cool. See, her artwork is so beautiful. It's so multi-dimensional. There was one card, and I wish I could find it because I think it was called Science or something like that. And maybe it's, see this stuff. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that you're having an emotional day. That's always, one of those things that I guess we have to deal with that. So, but yeah, let it flow, let it out, maybe journal about it. A lot of times if you have a lot of emotion that you don't feel, I don't know whether safe or comfortable is the word, but maybe just write it out and then, journal about it or burn it or do whatever feels good to just let those emotions out so that you're not like repressing them and suppressing them. So I hope that helps you out. And remember, this too shall pass. So that's one of the things too. But I'm trying to find this one card. So I hope that helps you out. And if anybody, I see a couple other people have joined. So please let me know if you want me to pull a card for you. I have the Seeker's Tarot, or the Seeker Oracle, and the Messenger Oracle. Both of the decks are from Raven Phelan. You can buy them from her website. You can probably find them also on Amazon. But like I was saying, just make sure that if you buy them, make sure that it's from her, like that it says her name on them, that it's from Blue Angel Publishing Company or Publications, because that makes sure that the deck is legit. So, and then I also have the Dreams of Gaia tarot deck from her, which is astonishing. So it's somewhat traditional with a few twists turned into it, because it does have the standard 78, major arcana, minor arcana, water, earth, fire, air cards in it. But then it also has, let me see, I just want to make sure that if people want me to pull a card for them, just let me know in the comments so I know to pull one for you. But there's also cards going back to this Dreams of Gaia deck, which it came out a few years ago, and I did do a deck review on this. You can find it on my YouTube channel. And like I said, it is traditional in the fact that there is a major arcana and a minor arcana, and the earth, fire, water, air as far as the suits are concerned. But then there are some extra cards in the major arcana that she has. And then some of her interpretations of the cards are really help you gain perspective. And that's one of the reasons I love different decks, is because you do get a different perspective about many of the different cards. And so, but I also feel like sometimes I'm just like, I have like 7 decks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 decks in front of me right now. I don't work with all of the decks that I have that I love, and I would work with them, but I just don't have time to work with them all. So this is one of the cards that is an addition to the major arcana in the Dreams of Gaia deck, and it's called Healing. And so you can see the catechus in there. You can see the Celtic knotwork. I think there's a turtle and a frog, the amphibious nature, and then, but I really love her art. It's just so stunning. Like the Queen of Fire here. It's just really, really pretty. The cat in it. Ooh. And the 6 of, I think this is Earth. No, this is Fire. So the 6 of Fire. And here's another like additional card in here. But I mean, it's like I said, there's some, the 14 being the self, if you look at that. And her work has a lot of dragons in it. Like all of the aces in her deck are dragons. Let me see if I can look at the death card in here. It's so pretty. So death and rebirth. That's an interesting one. So let me know if you'd like me to pull a card for you while we're here. I think I'm seeing everybody's comments. And please don't forget to like and follow me on YouTube, on Facebook, wherever you're joining me from. Abundance. So what was I going to talk about? The first thing I was going to talk about is like, oh, wait. I'm all like, wait, I found one of the aces. So all the aces in this deck are dragons, and they represent, they're you can usually also tell what suit they are by the colors that are prominent within, so the fire is going to be oranges, and earth is greens. Air, all of the air cards had these lovely angel wings in them, so they were really pretty. And water, of course, had blue and lots of fish and aquatic beings. So let me know if you want me to pull a card for you. I'm just sitting here. If we don't have a lot of people, then I'm going to go and do my Friday thing. So these are really one of my favorite decks. It's, like I said, it's such a beautiful deck. You can check out her artwork and see a lot more of it. She has like a Facebook page too, of course. And she is, yeah, like I think she uses Procreate a lot for her artwork. I'm trying to find this one picture because it was like science and she had it on her Instagram, but I guess I can't find it. So anyway, so I always feel like I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I saw another deck today. A couple of people were talking about this new cannabis deck, and I was like, oh, I have to get that one. But anyway, got the angel cards out as well today. So if you're more in tune with the angel side of things, ooh, I like this one. Archangel Azrael, take your power back. Wait, oh, Raziel, sorry. Take your power back. And so a lot of us, this has been a theme that came up today and yesterday for me for some reason. It was just like I made a video about it on Instagram today. Actually, I can show you. But making sure that with my tarot decks and with my crystals and with all of these things, I just want to be to the point where I can use and enjoy all of them, and it's not like a compulsion to just collect them, because they do take up a lot of space. And then I'll be looking, like the other day I was looking for the guidebook for my Thoth deck, which was my very first deck that I bought like a bazillion years ago, because I am a bazillion years old, of course, and couldn't find that. And I was like, dang. So I started looking for another deck in my little deck stash down here. And then I ended up finding the white book, which was good. The white book or the guidebook, you can call them either one. And since we're on the subject of guidebooks and books, we can talk about that too, because if you get a good guidebook for a deck, it is a revelation in your experience with tarot cards. So like you can see with the Dreams of Gaia deck, it's a really nice guidebook. It has the key meanings. It has the meaning. It has the key phrases. Key phrases. Has the regular meaning with the good write-up. And then it also has like how to apply it for past, present, and future, and also like blockages and reversals. So it's like a really, really nice book and full of really good information, chock full of great information. Hello, whoever's here, welcome, welcome. If you want me to pull a card for you, just let me know and I will go ahead and do that. Another really, really great guidebook is the one from the Wildwood Tarot, and this is a really good one, especially if you are learning about or very into working with the Wheel of Life and the Wheel of the Seasons and the Wheel of the Year. It has it's a really earthy vibe from this deck, number one, but number two, the guidebook is super informative. It has, the Wheel of the Year, and also how the different cards apply to the Wheel of the Year, and so what time frame of the year you would actually work with specific cards too. So if you're using tarot on your altar, if you're using tarot as a tool for like your magical practice and understanding the ebb and flow of the seasons around you and what you can harness and what you might want to avoid during those seasons, this is a great book to give you a really good firm foundation with that study with tarot. And like they do have a little bit of a different take on some of the cards, which I feel like when you're working with different decks, having those different takes of the cards, like Seven of Stones being healing. So this is one. Seven of Stones in regular tarot is like this, this waiting phase, this nurturing time. But in here, it's healing. And the court cards are represented by animals. And when you start to think about the characteristics of the animals and put those characteristics into people form, then you get a good idea of, what and why. Um, Seven of Vessels, which is the Seven of Cups, is a mourning card. The Seven of Cups in the traditional Rider-Waite tarot, and that's what I'll use as like the traditional reference. But that is a card of decision making, decision paralysis. So I think it's a really fascinating, interesting deck. This is the Six of Cups, which is reunion. And I was looking for actually the Nine, I think, of Cups. Let me see. So anybody, if you want a card, please let me know. And the Six of Stones is exploitation in this deck. And usually in the Rider-Waite tarot deck, it's, that triangular relationship between, it's like a card of generosity, and it's a card that reminds you to make sure that any kind of financial generosity that you receive or give is on an even keel, and all the terms and conditions are outlined and understood by everybody. But anyway, losing people, but it's okay. If somebody wants me to pull a card for them, just let me know. Also, the Star. The Star is one of my favorite cards in every deck, and it's a card of hope and, understanding that sometimes you need the dark times in order to be able to appreciate or see the light. And it's the light at the end of the tunnel. It's, that it's the card right after the blasted oak or the tower. So after everything falls apart, you need that energy of putting things back together. And so I think like I said, this is another one of my favorite decks. But again, I haven't had it out. I haven't used it in a really long time, simply because I've been working with the light seers most often. That's like my workhorse right now here. And Rider-Waite, because it's super easy for me to interpret. It's not, what's the word, intimidating for people a lot of times, because sometimes I avoid decks when I'm working with clients that I don't want to say, because Rider-Waite does have some dark images, and you should never avoid the hard times in life and talking about them when you're doing tarot readings. But some of them are just not as, I don't know how to say, like some of them do like more gruesome representations. Let's put it that way. I think that's a better way of saying it. But anyway, so just looking at decks, and you know what? I'm a sucker for a nice box for a deck of cards. Like, nice presentation is a key factor for me, because like those little boxes that are like the cardboard boxes, the thin cardboard boxes, I don't like that because they fall apart so quick and easy. And so I just prefer to have a nice sturdy box with, that I can keep forever, and they stack nicely, and I can throw them in my purse and take them for different, like if I'm doing an event or something like that. I'm just going to check on my YouTube feed. I don't know who's here. Say hi if you're here. Ooh, that's not a nice picture of me. Say hi if you're here. Nope, nobody said anything on there. So please don't forget to like, or, follow me on YouTube, follow me on Facebook, so that you get notifications when we go live. So let's see. Secret Oracle. The other thing I was going to talk about today was just this place that we're at with the world right now. I think it's really interesting because we're coming at this. Hey, Mom! Yay! Hi, Mom! Woo! Everybody say hi to my mom. She's here. Yay! So, um, mm. Like seriously, sometimes like how beautiful is this card, number one, and like the importance of sleep. Sometimes you need to talk to clients about that kind of stuff. So if they are taking care of themselves, if they are nurturing themselves in, of course you might get the seven of pentacles, for example, or the Empress, if a person needs to take care of themselves a little bit more. But when you have something that's so on point like that, like get some more sleep, get rest, it's crazy how accurate those cards can be sometimes when you're talking to a client or pulling cards. Um, be of service. And I think this image here, right in the middle, I think she might have used that actually in another card in another deck. But yeah, like I said, her decks are beautiful. I'm a big fan. So, and you know, most of the time they're on the lighter side of things, but they don't avoid, uh, let's say, the more difficult topics that we have to talk about when we're working with tarot. Speaking of like difficult topics, we are in this phase right now, and I feel like we're in a crossroads in, yeah, heal the vibes for sure, Scorpion. Um, but I feel like we're in this phase where we really have to keep it together. And like those of us who are working with Reiki, with energy healing, with, kind of life coaching, or, so light workers, alchemists, transformational people. And then also there's a whole system or web of people who are supporting people like that and who are like, you know, inventing, different ways of doing things, different ways of collecting water, for example, in areas, remote areas in Africa or wherever that don't have access to clean water, or architects who are building like earth pods or earth ships, I think is what they're called. And they're fully self-sustainable houses made from recycled materials. So they're using glass bottles and bricks made out of, recycled plastic goods and things like that. And they usually have like a pond where they're um, refreshing or cycling their water through, and also using it for fish, and that water feeds their crops and things like that. So we have these people who have this vision of the future, that's a vision of a better future, that's a vision of a more fair and just world, and vision of how to make electricity less harmful for the planet, or with electric cars, or we just got our solar panels and um, things like that. And so now is the time for us really, and this is one of the things with my social media work or with my strategy work that I do, is really it's time for us to kind of stand up and start talking and get noticed and support each other and help each other, and like bring this vision of a new way of doing things to life. Because I feel like we are coming on that tower moment in the earth's history where we have to figure out how to do things differently. Because if we continue to move in the same way and doing the same things as we had done before, then it's not working out for the planet, it's not working out for the people, and we can either like drive ourselves into destruction, or we can figure out a different way of doing things that's gonna, hopefully heal the planet and heal society and heal people, and not re-traumatize people with events. And so right now is an important time for us to really kind of start standing up and doing our work. If you had been kind of holding off on putting yourself out there, or if you didn't know, what you should be talking about, like seriously, I come on here on Friday, I babble for like an hour, I pull some cards, and so don't get focused so much on perfectionism or trying to, your message will solidify and your message will evolve as you continue to think and speak and experience life. So don't avoid necessarily sharing your message right now and sharing your supportive work and seeking out people who are on the same wavelength and who, or even a better wavelength than you are, so that we all can get together and heal the vibes. This card came up again. So, and Scorpio is a really a sign of transformation and of, like, if you think about in terms of the time of Scorpio in, northern hemisphere, it is like that death and rebirth phase. And Scorpions are usually change heralds, or people who help to bring about change. And so when we're talking about healing the vibes, like, what is the best possible, first start here, first start in your own life, first figure out what you can do to bring more joy and peace and comfort into your own life, and spend more time doing that. And also, on the other side of that, find out what stresses you, what frustrates you, what irritates you, and spend less time doing that. It's a good time right now to either get therapy or coaching, or even take a look at your own story and see, right now I'm in classes so that I can become a certified life coach or Lebensberater in Austria. I already took the classes in America, and unfortunately they didn't transfer into the Austrian system, but that's okay, because now I'm learning also a little bit deeper, because they have like conflict resolution, they have mediation as part of the course curriculum in Austria, which wasn't a part of the course curriculum in America. It was more like self-healing focused. So where was I going with that? Okay, so I was in the class and we're talking to each other, like the erste Beratung, so the first appointment, and kind of telling a little story about our lives. And so I noticed the story that I told, and I'm not going to be super open about it, but anyway, it was like a story where I was kind of playing victim-y, and it wasn't a story of, wasn't the story I wanted to be telling about my life. In the past, like, I've had a super adventure. I am lucky for having, I was in the Louvre this year. I have the opportunity to travel, and my house is warm and comfortable. My kids have clothes and, everything. And so I really had to learn to flip the narrative and start focusing not only on the good things in my life and the blessings that I have and the things to be grateful, but also starting to address the things in my life that were making me feel victim-y, and asking myself, like, is this the real story? One of the people that we learned about in my last life coaching classes was Byron Katie, and she does, I think her book is called The Work, and she has like 4 questions you ask yourself, like, is it true? Is it real? I would look it up. I'm just kind of trying to remember from 10 years ago. But anyway, this reframe, or the shift in perspective, and also an acknowledgement on my part that I wasn't necessarily living my life in a way that I would suggest for other people, or in a way that was really, kind of making me feel like I was living my best life. I know, like, all of life is not like rainbows and butterflies and unicorns and everything like that. I'm not trying to say that at all, but I'm trying to say the things that I can control in my life, One of those things is perspective, and being really honest and true with myself about how I'm taking in the perspective of my life and how I see things and what I need to change. Taking an inventory. And now I feel like I'm babbling because I'm just like, where was I going with this? Um, but that's where I was going with this. Like, it starts with you, and it starts with those moments of like peace and being able to breathe and comfort and stability, which is big for a lot of us, and security. And, you know, and kind of nurturing that within our own lives. And when we create that for ourselves in our own lives, then it's easier for us to help other people work through their own perspective in their lives and what they need to do and how they want to feel and what shifts they can consider or transformations they need to embrace in their own lives so that they can have a happier, more fulfilling, and whatever life. Because the more people who are doing that, it can spread from there. It's like a ripple effect. And so that is like kind of where we're at, is how can you make your life a better place? How can you heal your vibe in your life? I think that's going to be our message for today, healing the vibe. Um, the other card, I wanted to go back to something I said a while ago. Hello, by the way, to the other people who are here. Let me know if you want a card. Please don't forget to like and follow me. But the other thing was this trust in science. She actually did a really nice write-up on her Instagram page, and it was probably like in December. I'm sorry, Raven Phelan, but it was a really nice thing, because especially with all of the interesting pros and cons about the way science has been perceived, yeah, in the past couple of years. And so I would look at her Instagram feed and see if you can find this card and see what she wrote about it, because it was like this beautiful, information about science and working through the process of science. And that's also a process you can work through in your life. And witchcraft is also, kind of science. And so, yeah, just think about that in terms of see what kind of wisdom you can gain from it. So, hi, Smita. Please let me know if you want me to pull a card for you. I have my cards. I have like 7 decks in front of me right now. So let me know if you want me to pull a card. And I have the Messenger Oracle. I have where's the other little book here? Messenger Seeker's Oracle. What is her husband feeling towards her? And not get heal the vibes. So no, the heal the vibes has been like the theme of today. But do you need to heal the vibes within yourself? And also for you, I get Archangel Yophiel, which is like clear this space. So with healing the vibes and clearing the space, I'm thinking that there might be some blocks between you and your husband right now that you need to sort through and work out, and that he wants to see you heal and grow within yourself as a person. And so make sure that you're calling on, like clearing your space, clear your mental space, clear your physical space, because when we are in chaos, then the world around us starts to be a little bit in chaos as well. And that again reverberates outwards into our relationships, enter a state of chaos. And so right now, I think it's important for you to clear the energy around you and between the two of you. And yeah, heal the vibes, heed the vibes, heed the vibes. So see what's going on. He is committed to you. Yeah. And then, yeah, the relationship harmony comes up too. So I feel like this is a thing where it might be your worries and struggles and fears and everything being projected onto him, and that you need to clear that out and make sure that Archangel Jophiel keeps coming up, keeps coming up. So really work with Archangel Jophiel, and with your relationship as well. Okay, Smita? Hope that helps. So I have to see something really quick. And usually I only pull one card. Sometimes if it's a slow day, I might pull more than one for you. You're welcome. I hope that helped you out, Smita. And just remember, so Scorpion has poor eyesight, but the limitation does not prevent it from attaining what it needs. Scorpion can sense its prey with small hairs on its pedipalps, its claws. These hairs are so sensitive to vibration that it can locate airborne prey with ease. When you are still, you vibrate. Your body might appear to be motionless, but everything within is in motion, even your mind. Your physical, mental, and emotional state affect your vibrational frequency. This is what we were talking about earlier. Have you ever walked in the room and felt the energy within it? Have you ever met someone and felt drawn to them or repelled by them? Many people are sensitive to other people's vibration. Scorpio asks that you hone your senses, heed the vibes around you. No, don't act on them blindly. Instead, use what you sense as a reason to look deeper, to observe, to ask questions, and then act. So that was heed the vibes. And I'm also thinking that sometimes it's easy to project our own insecurities and fears in our relationships onto the other person. So see if this is something that's internally reflecting from you, or if it's something that you need to heal within you and work on from there again. So, and I hope that helps you out. I think I'm going to get going because I think I'm going to watch a movie with my kids tonight. We're watching the new Thor movie. So it's on the Disney Plus channel, I guess. And so if you want to get an in-depth reading, or if you want to talk to me about tarot, or if you are interested in or curious about how you can use social media or organic marketing in your business, you can give me a call or message me, DM me on Instagram, Facebook, or I think you can, not YouTube, but so I hope you all have a fabulously wonderful day. And I think I will see you next Friday if everything goes as planned and the world is calm and peaceful. So I'm wishing you only the best this week, and take care. Have a fabulous day. Talk soon. Bye.